Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm concentrating on how to build the fist. Building a fist is actually an awful lot more complicated than one would think. When I first got into training, I would just clench my hand and hope that that would work. And as a result, I ended up making contact with here, and because my wrist was bent, I would hurt that as well. What I learned to do eventually, what my teachers taught me, was to fold twice, but I did it slightly differently as they taught me, which is to reach down to basically the palm of the hand and pull up and then ride it back in. So in essence, I'm grabbing that little fold of skin right here and then pulling it in flat. Once that's been accomplished, then I pull these two knuckles here, these two knuckles, back up. This makes all of these in a straight line, making this entire unit solid. The last thing I do is put my thumb on this middle piece of my finger right here. By doing it in this manner, I then have formed a nice solid fist. And because I'm concentrating on the thrust, what I do is I make this all one line. If I had a stick, which I do, then I make it as solid and as straight as I can. If I'm down too far, you can see that's not good. If I'm up too far, that's not good either. It has to be completely flat. That way, all the bones of my arm run into all the bones of my hand and transmit right out here, which is primarily where I'm going to be striking with. A little bit here, but mostly here and not here. By having these back out of the way, it means that when I thrust out, or I'm coming around, that I'm making contact here, and this is all nice and clean. As a result, when I thrust, whether it's from the high guard, or the low guard, or the center guard, or whether I'm hooking it, or overhand, or underhand, it's still straight, solid, and flat. And as a result, I'm making contact with knuckles. Now, as I said, conditioning is a separate thing, and I condition my knuckles regularly to make sure that when I strike, that they're not going to be damaged or split or broken or some other way. The advantage that one has in striking is a little bit further reach. The disadvantage is that they have to be conditioned and I have to be careful what I hit or I'll damage them. But when I'm practicing on a bag, generally you'll see me demonstrating here with bare fists. But often if I'm going to be hitting the bag for any length of time, I'll use bag gloves or full gloves to protect my knuckles. Something to think about.